Hey everybody, Brian here for Work to Game Videos, and today we're talking about Letter from the Producer Live, number 34, which was pretty much going on at the Tokyo FanFest a couple hours after the keynote. So coming right off of the 4.0 hype, we're now going back into learning more about 3.5 information, what's going to lead us there. So just to recap, if you haven't seen that video, Red Mage confirmed. Then we had the fact that Omega is going to play a part. We're going to see him more also in patch 3.5, which is going to tie into that raid, which is going to be in 4.0, which is exciting because they've been teasing him since 2.3 and 3.4 actually. So the it's pretty exciting stuff. So really, what they did and and I'll make sure I include a link to it for Live Loader 33 is they kind of spent a little bit of time just highlighting all that information. So new content, main scenario quests, new Warring Triad quests, new side quests, new dungeons, Balsar's Wall and Salmal, the 24-man raid done Scythe, new trials, Zurvan the Demon, Zoe Apollo, which will be a crafting and gathering kind of Wonders Tales book. The Diadem 2.0 is coming, and they said that it's going to come in 3.5x, but we did learn with letter 34 that 3.5x means 3.55. So we're going to see them turn it off with 3.5 and turn it back on with 3.55. So part two of the kind of the main scenario, kind of the companion update to 3.5. What is interesting though is they said there will be ways of gathering or getting those items, especially while that time is. And so while we don't know what that is, there gather while you can, as well as there will be ways, but they didn't really clarify that in this live letter. So I guess maybe the Aquapolis, which will be really good. I don't know. All theories on that so far. And then they, the Party Finder updates. So with their Crossworld Party Finder, PvP updates. So all of that is covered in really good detail on, and I'll again include that link so that way you guys can find it if you really want to get into the nitty gritty there. But really, let's talk about what was shown off, maybe that was new, and this is kind of where things get a little bit disappointing so far as that. There wasn't too much new. They showed off some in-game footage, which is always very helpful, always good to see. So we'll go ahead and talk about what that looks like. So for the Zurvan the Demon, so Yoshi P1 in to go fight him. So you can apparently fall off the stage. He does this giant AoE slash, which is going to destroy parts of the arena. And then if you are on them when they kind of get destroyed, you die. So no word that I could catch with my amazing Japanese that you're going to be able to be rezzed or not. So I think essentially the first part of it is that you can't, I guess fall off like Titan, but you get caught in this and it's insta death. So I guess the question is, can you get resurrected or not? And we'll find out. And then Zurvan was going to break out of prison slightly. And do different types of attacks and things like that. So they kind of show that off, and I'll see if I can't either include some of that footage or some of those screenshots for you in this video as well. They believe it should be harder than Sophia Extreme, and then it could be harder than A12 Normal, so Alexander 12 Normal, which for people looking for a challenge, I think that's a really good thing. So they've kind of talked about, and maybe this is what we see with the patch cycles going forward, where they were introducing a fight that is the new hardest fight in the game. We've talked about that on a couple of different things. And so then they went to Dun Saith. They showed up the 24-man raid. We knew that it was going to start on an airship. She kind of shows that off, and it looks like he's fighting maybe Death Gaze or one of those type of enemies. The model is very akin to that, so it looked pretty cool. And then they went on into the town and showed off a couple more things like Kate Sith is kind of giving a tour and things like that. And again, we should be having that up behind me as I'm talking. So all in all, it looks very impressive. I'm very excited to see and get my hands on patch 3.5, especially as it leads into from the main scenario and leads us into 4.0. and going from there. Okay, so then they talked more about the Diadem rework. I already said that it's the Diadem 2.0 doesn't come out till 3.55, but they said there's going to be two different queues for it: hunting and gathering. The Aether Currents, when you get in, are automatically going to be unlocked, so you can fly immediately. And then apparently, if you go to the house, I'm probably going to mispronounce it, the Heidenard, you can see all your objectives and keep going there for more, or something like that. The equipment's still going to be randomly generated, but when you complete, I guess, your objectives, equipment's going to be auto-placed in your inventory, so you're not going to have to roll on it. But varying monsters can also have a chance to drop various treasure coffers for you to roll on gear there. A special raid apparently is going to be able to be occurred in a specific area once certain limits have been reached, and then he recommends 4 parties to tackle various giant bosses that could be tied to this raid or might not. I'm sorry, I don't have the exact full-on details, and I guess I really won't until official translations are released later, maybe in a week or two. Anyway, so whether that's a 4-man or an 8-man, I would assume 8-man, but at the same time, it seems a little bit off-kilter from the Alliance, which would be 3 8-mans. So anyway, take it for what you will. Then essentially, they had a guess, which so from the keynote, they bring up the illustrator that is teaming up to work on 4.0's Alliance Raid Return to Ivalice, and he's been working on a series in Japan called Garo, and so they're going to actually be doing a a crossover event where we're going to see like 3 new mounts, various gears, weapons, and etc. that you can obtain from the Gold Saucer or from doing PvP, which is interesting because this is kind of the first kind of live event that's going to really incorporate PvP. So we'll see how well that goes, and that's going to be right aligned with the PvP changes. So we should see a very big uptick in that. So it should be very interesting as well. And so they did talk about a little bit of 4.0 in regards that Yoshi P wants to really change up the way we experience and give us new experiences with 4.0, and especially the raid scene. So that's I think pretty exciting to see. And so again, all in all, the live letter wasn't that powerful. There wasn't these great revelations. Showed off a new emote, the sing emote, which seems cool. So dancer somewhat confirmed via an emote. I don't know, as singing and dancing. And they did spend some time. They're bringing in new filters for the group pose system and stuff like that. So there's a lot there like with it, and that's always kind of the fun, exciting thing about a patch, is that they do show off some exciting stuff in these live letters. However, at the end of the day, until we get our hands on the patch, there's all these other little things hidden. So they showed off the Paisa house. They showed off the kind of the various paintings which you can get from your sightseeing log. They showed off new fish for the aquarium, and so there's just a lot, I think, of work and love that's going into this series. But I think obviously from if you look at this compared to how with the keynote, obviously the highlights for the information are about 4.0. We didn't get too much more information on that, and so what I'll do is I'll have some kind of follow-up video for that in the next couple of days once kind of all the information's disseminated, and we kind of can give you some real, I guess, more solid information about it, namely because there is a dev Q&A that's scheduled for today in Japan, and I want to look at getting that and see if there's any more we can glean about 4.0 at that time. So anyway, let me know what you're excited about for 3.5, for 4.0. I had a couple comments on that video talking about they were, people predicted Red Mage pretty I guess accurately with being arranged and then coming in close. And so let me know in the comments below, or are you excited about Red Mage? What are you excited most about with 3.5, with 4.0? Yeah, let's have that conversation. So anyway, for Work to Game videos, my name's Brian. This is obviously Work to Game. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.